Welcome to a new episode of Signal Chain Stories, the podcast for musicians, artists, and creatives. My name is Miles Kundra, and as always, with me is my wonderful friend Mordio, who just returned from ADE, Amsterdam Dance Event. I want to hear everything about it. How was it?
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't know that ADE is a thing and what it is.
Okay.
I never heard about this, but I'm also not really a festival person, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, nice to be with you in the call. Happy. ADE was a blast. It's crazy because it's kind of big. I didn't know that. You literally have on the airport in Amsterdam ADE everywhere, like posters. It's like properly funded,
Yeah,
I was
think
thinking
it
it's
grew
like a little
pretty
festival
crazy.
or something.
Yeah, I think it started like that, and then it grew pretty crazy because I know I used to work for Sennheiser, and there was always kind of like some sort of involvement or at least interest in the festival. And I remember it started quite small the first years, and then it grew bigger and bigger with lots of companies getting involved. I think Ableton is also pretty involved there. They have a booth and stuff. So yeah, I think it grew over the years.
Crazy. Yeah, for us, it was like, I just got the invitation because with the IO crew and the DSP dealer crew, we released the analyzer, or like we tried to release it, but we had some problem with the name DSP dealer.
Okay.
Yeah, the dealer was a problem for the German government. We
really
the property term dealer was not working. Whatever, we needed to delay it till Wednesday, I think.
Okay.
But it's okay. But we did a workshop there in a bar about all of this. And I was just invited to obviously making the video content and all that stuff because this is my thing, right? From the fam. So they said, hey, Flo, come over, please. We need your skills.
We need your video skills.
Then I just came for that actually and seeing everyone. So there was nothing big expectations. And then I landing in Amsterdam, right? And I realizing, oh, this is a huge thing actually. It's everywhere. And the full city is in like party mode. It's like 1st of May in Berlin.
Yeah.
But for like, I don't know, a full week or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's super long.
And yeah, there's like in so many clubs and in different locations where normally they don't do like live music or something, was events. And all my friends was there, like my friend Gigi, Ahmed, everyone was there having also gigs and playing.
Nice.
And yeah, like I did my work stuff and everything with the analyzer, but there was one event where like spontaneously I was just like getting a list. And I was like, because my friend Gigi was playing on 2 events with ambient, and I was a bit like cozy, moody. It was really rainy in Amsterdam, so I was like, yeah, I want ambient. I don't want to party. To be honest, I didn't went to any techno or any party.
Just ambient.
Yeah, just ambient.
You did the Amsterdam chill event.
Yes, I looked for the chill events only. So I saw like one live act from Gigi where she was making a live, so like with a poem that she written and mic and effects on the voice and Ableton and everything. It was really cool. And it was like in this like huge round, I don't know, Kapelle. I don't know how to say that actually in English.
Maybe that's the word.
Yeah.
Some church-like thing.
Yeah, huge room, very nice architecture, and they got this like light thing on with another person playing this lights, I think live. I was not really sure, to be honest. I was just sitting there seeing my friend, and then I saw this like beautiful light thing, like literally on the music. Like there was no other light source, so it was really like just beep, and you saw people for a moment, boop, and another moment, and then it starts to in circles, and the room was also circle, so you see all the shadows dancing. It was really cool. That was one thing, but then she invites me to another one into a church, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool. And I bring even a friend with me, and we enter this church and everything smelled nice, and I was like, nice. Even when I went to the toilet, they even put the lights, they glue it away so you don't have lights, and just candles everywhere. It was so nice. Like you can't talk, like just whisper. So the full atmosphere went already like from outside, like, and then you go to this church and it's like, it was so nice. So everything smelled nice. Lighting was only candles. You got tea for free. You needed to sit in a room and wait there, and you can have a little like washing hands ritual and all these things, to calm you down, to wait. And then there was like a text that said, hey, when you hear a gong, you can enter the church for 1.5 hours and then you have to leave again. So it's like this constantly. And I enter this, when we hear the gong, we went to also without shoes, right? I entered this church and it was like the church was beautiful. The architecture was amazing, super minimalistic. It was like in the top, in the roof, there was like a square, or like, no, how you say it, like a triangle. A triangle window, but like the roof was like kind of, sidewise. It was beautiful. And it was just this huge holy room. And then Gigi was up in the left, playing already like some ambient, and there was chairs, and then there was like yoga mats with like meditation pillows. So I got one of the pillows, and then there was like a square of water, just like silently water, mirroring what is in front, and then like a little podest with a monk, literally a monk, sitting there meditating. And then this huge, this like the movie, the Odyssey, 1000 blah, 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 Odyssey, with this like, where the monkeys pray to this like rock, this huge square black rock. And they put visuals on that. And then amazing hi-fi speakers on the left and on the right, really like high class. So you sit down, you can't talk, you can't sleep, you can't drink, like proper meditation, but in a next level based on music and stuff.
Nice.
And then we sit down and they just over the speakers tell you like, we invite you to breathe, take a moment, forget the outside world, like it was really guided meditation kind of, just on the speakers and like a voiceover based on the music that already played from Gigi. And then we went for like 1.5 hour proper, like just listening session. I started, because the monk started to write on some moment. Like you didn't get like because it was in the front, I was thinking when he starts to make some yin yoga poses, stretching a bit, I was thinking, oh, we all will do this now. But no one started doing it. So I was like, it's just more like an invitation. You can do it. You can watch the monk being and can be inspired by doing it too, or doing something else. One girl turned around. She didn't like to watch the front, so she watched the people. It was amazing. Yeah, and then I realized, it's nice how everyone just be, and listen. But like kind of not like talk, not interact. It's really like we see each other, but we're not interacting. It was surreal. It was amazing. So I started to make yin yoga, stretching a bit. I mean, from Pascal, I learned a lot about that. And then I had like a proper 1.5 hour session just listening. The music was amazing. And the monk was really just, meditating there. I think the full event was 35.5 hours. Like they say, 35.5 hours ambient in that church. So for the
what was the monk there all the time? Probably not.
Gigi, after the gig, told me that the guy said he don't want break. So this guy was meditating. I think he slept on some point, but meditating the full time.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was thinking maybe he's part of the team of this, like they call ZERØBPM. This is the event. And I was like, maybe he's part of the team, but I think they invite this person to just guide just a little bit, to be there and be like guided by watching, because I saw him making yin yoga, so I was inspired to do yin yoga, but he never said like do yin yoga. And like I just realized how this ambient music in this kind of environment can be such a different impact with this kind of speaker also. It was really like a hi-fi sound system. Like it was amazing because Gigi played a track that I think I already heard on another sound system, but it blasted me away this time, way more than the last time.
Nice.
Just because like the bass and the highs was so
crisp.
It was so good. I was thinking techno you need on a sound system, dubstep you need a good sound system, but ambient the nice thing is you have not so much bass, you can listen to also, I don't know, normal speakers. But I think the impact
makes
comes really when you have a good sound system, totally for the highs also. So yeah, I was on that event, ZERØBPM. They call, I researched them a little bit, and they do this only like in churches and
Okay,
festival
interesting.
flows. You can book them for festival flows, and they always bring that sound system. They have partners, and
Nice.
I think you never can properly talk. They never want that you do alcohol or anything, you know. They really make a safe space for like literally meditation with music, with ambient music.
That's awesome.
What I think is kind of a modern way of seeing it, you know. I like that it's like separating it a little bit from the classic approach.
Yeah,
And
totally.
the music really helps, you know. Calms my
Totally.
mind completely down to also shut the fuck up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I still have the feeling like this whole church thing that with ambient music, it's becoming a thing, right? Because I've not heard that a couple of years back. And now here in Cologne, actually, I've had two things recently where I by accident stumbled across that. One thing was I was going to a concert, and then on the way, there's a church here in my neighborhood, and I passed that. There were a lot of people standing outside that didn't look like your regular church people. I was like, okay, what the hell is going on here? Also, it was like Friday evening at 9:30 or so. That's not your typical church time. And then I saw actually it was a concert by, you know her too, Jacko.
Yeah.
She played there with a
She
couple of
also
other
played on the
ambient.
ZERØBPM
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah. I
Nice.
just missed her, but I was just there for Gigi, but she also, I saw on the lineup, she also was playing there.
Yeah. And that was one thing. And then a couple of days later here in Cologne, I think maybe it was in the same church, there was Susanne Chiani playing the big ambient modular queen, you could say. I mean, she's kind of like, I think in this for 40 years now or so, she's kind of like one of the early pioneers. And she played a concert here in the church in Cologne. And I knew a lot of people from my modular community were going there. And I thought, this is crazy because I've never heard of that before, that there's now the church opening up to music like that, which I think is pretty interesting.
It was the first time that I was ambient in a church, was my friend Amiva was playing here in Berlin in one church. And it was a regular event, and I went all the time when it was, because it was for me the best location. Like you need this kind of big place that invite you also to really observe and be a bit different than like a club, you know. Like in a club, it's kind of instantly just like, let's talk, let's connect, let's be loud,
let's dance, let's move.
Drink, smoke, you know, it's that vibe. And the other thing is so like, wash your hands, come inside, put your shoes off, maybe have some stretch, you know, be free in your being, but like
make
in
yourself
a soft
comfortable.
way.
Totally.
Like after this, I really can say I could go every Sunday to church, but this type of church, you know. Yeah, and to come to the point, that was, I don't know, it was just so impactful. I came home and reflected a little bit, researched the ZERØBPM crew and read a little bit the website and everything, and I was like, hey, this is the non plus ultra, you know. That's the way how I like, because I was still looking for like what I want to do with my ambience thing, and now I know I want to play in places like this. I want to play live with the torso, with the Cosmos, you know, and just make an atmosphere for people to be fucking in kind of silence, you know, for fucking 1 hour and just
chill,
take a break, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's healing and that's actually good for the world, and that's the goal. Like now I have a goal, you know?
Yeah. I completely feel that, because it's so funny that you say that, because actually this week I was starting to work on my live set for end of November, where I play in Berlin, which is more kind of like your classic dance live set. But then in parallel, I started to work on a second live set, which is a completely different setup. It just uses here my push standalone and the move. And I started to build a template in Ableton Live, which gives me some macro controls over different effects. And then I start with a completely blank canvas and play sounds live and sequence them live. And then I just play with the mixer and bring the sounds in and out. And on the master, I have some long shimmery reverbs and stuff like that. And I'm just getting started, but I was playing for 1 hour with this setup, and I was like, this is it. This is the direction I want to go. Same as with you. This is the direction I want to go with my ambient stuff, because I feel I finally found what I had been searching like improvised ambient music in the moment, nothing prepared. It's just an empty project. And then I start to fill it with notes, with chords, with the movement. I start to bring in, I have one instrument loaded where Sting is constantly playing. So when I bring in the mix, there's constantly a different sequence playing, which is then synced to the key in which the whole project is. So it never runs out of key. This has been so fun and so inspiring. I was just immediately also calming myself down. I was playing with this for 1.5 hours and I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, it is. It's crazy.
Yesterday night, I was also super inspired. I play instantly with my two machines here again. And I realized how meditative, how good this is for me to make this kind of music also.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's also so important that it's like, because ambient is more easy than obviously having a rhythm in a grid system and have to be in kind of like a clock, right? So it's nice that you can like freestyle the stuff and see the room. Because, for example, if I play in a church like this, you can go a little bit more epic also with the chords, right? It can be more epic. It was very epic, to be honest. It was so epic.
Nice.
Like if it gets a bit emotional, you know, it's like super emotional.
Yeah, cool. I love it.
For example, if I'm in a small little room, maybe I try to keep it really passive and not so epic because it's kind of out of place otherwise. So it's good that you have the freedom to freestyle that stuff.
Yeah.
Cool that you also go into ambient properly now.
100%. Yeah. I'm currently, the fun thing is, honestly, like the next time I'm in Berlin, we have to play. I bring my stuff and then we make the most epic ambient live set ever heard.
But good stuff. It's super inspiring, you know? So going outside, seeing different concepts, and for example, like for me, it was really like nothing I was looking for. I didn't know this. I was on ambient events in a church, but I was thinking that's such a unique thing. It's typical. I know I'm very aware that I'm sometimes in this Berlin bubble where you can have crazy stuff happening in places that normally would not be open for music. So I was like, yeah, that's maybe just a thing here. But this is actually, churches are open to do that.
Which I think is cool.
Yeah, also it's kind of huge for a full generation, I would say. It's like
absolutely
that they open up for this kind of concept is also very, very big.
It is.
For the world, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And it was super inspiring. Like I really felt when I came home now, I need to make music. I need to write stuff down. And I literally I have this little book here where like I write only things that have to do with me and Mordio. Like it's like this monologue that we have.
Yeah.
Just my art book. This is my little art book, right?
I love it.
I have my notes and all that stuff here, but I have my art book and it's always open when I make music with my machines here, and I write literally what comes in. And yesterday I really I put it all out into the book, into the sounds, and then I went sleep. And this happens only when you have input from the outside world. Sometimes I realize. Yeah. So coming back from there was really the feeling that creativity from outside came into me, and now I can use it to put it into machines, into computers, into written form. And I have a mission now. I feel like I have a plan.
Yeah, I can feel that. I feel the energy, which I absolutely love. It's it's amazing, and actually brings us very perfectly to the topic that we had for today's episode, which is fueling your creativity outside of music. Many thanks, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've just been touching on it. I mean, writing, documenting your thoughts is, I think, absolutely crucial, and something I honestly have not been doing for a very long time.
Me too.
And I just started doing it couple of weeks back or so. First, it started as some kind of journal where I just kind of like wrote how my day was, what I experienced and all of that stuff. But it very quickly turned into something more, as you just described, where I just wrote down some creative thoughts, and where I even started sometimes to draw, because I'm not a big drawer, but it's like drawing is so special because it's really just following your instincts. You have kind of like this thing in your head and you want to bring it down, and it's then just you just let it flow and see what comes out of it.
Yeah.
And I realized the more I practice, the better I get at it, and it really calms my head down. It's super good. So the mixture of writing and drawing is like really, it's like this journaling, but in a weird way. You just write down your creative ideas, and that already helped me a lot to get inspired and to really fuel my creativity in a very positive way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was, when I was young, really into drawing, but I lost it a bit. But yeah, maybe I should try that too, because it's a different form of expression, right? Sometimes
Absolutely.
you don't have words for things, but you could draw it, you know? Totally.
True.
When you like, I have a friend who always paint. He's a huge painter. He literally make oil paintings that are like my full wall here is like one painting.
Wow.
And
Okay,
he's selling them
that's
really
huge.
like good. He lives from this now. But he just dream and then try to put the concept of his dream into like a painting. And sometimes he said also that there is no way to describe what I saw, but a way to paint it.
To paint it.
Yeah, like it's a color that is an echo from the dream, but he knows it's green. It have to be green. That full picture will be green or something, you know. And it's a different language, like music, like a lot of art forms, right?
It is.
It's just
As you know,
translation.
yeah, true. I'm a big fan of Jean-Michel Basquiat. I think we've been talking about him here.
Yeah, we talked before
Already, and yeah, he's the same. Like, he just follows his instincts, and all the kind of like, I think in one interview he said that all the noise he's absorbing from the outside world, he's then just putting down into his paintings, which I think is just super cool.
His paintings are noisy, yeah.
Yeah, they are very noisy. They are full of noise and they are full of layers,
Text,
because he says sometimes there's the TV running, then he's reading a book, then he's on coke or whatever, and then he has 5 people in his apartment running around, and all of these influences he's then at the same time bringing into his pictures, which can be super overwhelming, but it creates these different layers in the art, and you can look at a picture and find so many things in there, and that's something I always love. It's all these little details which I find very, very fascinating. So yeah, it's kind of like the same concept as you described.
Yeah, it's good that we talk about this, because when you say like you just started some weeks ago, I mean, I'm doing it already for like I think 2 years now, like writing in a little book, ideas out. And for me, it was a big moment because I was like, I make music, so this is my way to put it down. I don't need this fucking text and la la la. I'm not a writer. I'm really bad in writing. I have legasthenia as fuck. So when I write something down, it's most of the time I have typos. But I realized that it's also a format that is the quickest, you know, like you can write quicker into like a little block, something down, or paint something down, then like, I don't know, or make a voice memo or something, then like, I don't know, starting a new track, you know? So sometimes you just get snippets from life that inspire you, and you have to document them somewhere. You don't have to make a page just for each thing that you start. You can literally have one sentence that kind of was cool. Well, I like what this person just said in this TV. Let me write that sentence down. And under this sentence, I write something completely else, what makes no sense together, but later maybe I feel that actually it makes totally sense together, you know? So I just learned for myself, when you start something like this, first of all, just put it in and don't think. And second, separate the books. So I have one book where I just write down notices like, I don't have to forget this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if it's becoming something that is longer than like just make it quick and done, you know, I'm putting it in a task management system, but sometimes you just need like, but if it's like really for the art, have a separate book. That was a big thing because I mixed it a bit up with my to-do list and my creative thing. Having a separate little book that, like, for my example, I have here like just lines. It's white and I have lines. So I can write, but I can also paint if I want. And I will try that, by the way, and since you say that, like painting again a bit.
Definitely. It's fun. But
I just put it all in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And just wanted to add, it goes in the same direction, because I completely agree with you on the music thing, because what I realize is sometimes when I'm inspired and want to make music, then the first thing that gets involved is the head, because then I start to think, what do I want to make? What do I need? Oh, I need a kick. I need this and that. And just when I pass that, I get into the creative flow where you think less and just do more, follow your instincts, kind of like the primal way of getting into artistic flow. And with writing and painting, it's way more immediate. Like, I can just start to write, and then it's the same thing as you described. It's just things come out way, way faster and way easier. And then you can just take these concepts that you've written down and put them into your music. So it's kind of like bridging a little bit this thing where the music kind of like to get started, it just takes a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, also I feel because there is this moments for sure where you feel like I have zero creativity. I don't feel that.
Mhm.
And I always forget that part too, because totally when I feel like I want to get stuff ready this year, nice albums, I want to release a lot, I want to be the hermit mode, right? Then you allow yourself not to go out, for example. Like I said to myself, hey, I cannot party all the time. So I don't go to party at all. And I'm abstinence, only hermit mode, monk mode, will make music. And then you don't feel it. And you're like, it's very interesting to pick a party, not just for the cool lineup or for the people that are going, friends, and pick a party to literally go alone, for example. Like I did in Amsterdam. All my friends went to some techno event and say, yeah, come, And I was like, I think I want to see my friend Gigi. I don't know. Something guided me to this because I was more like cozy, right? And it sounded nice, ambient. And then I end up in the ultimative perfect event, So I realizing more and more that like I have to push myself sometimes to go out because we all know this. We are like computer people. Yep. For sure. If you make music in this age, you have something to do with machines, and machines make you isolating sometimes a little bit from humans. It is a thing. We don't go too deep into that. It's a topic for itself. I like computers. I like all of this, but I have to remind myself sometimes to just go and experience outside world again, just to, and also in this conscious way to go outside, get inspired is easier when you go alone or like with a friend, this person also really want to experience, or in my case, you can't talk there. You cannot like socialize. It's not a social event. It's really for inspiration. You pick particular events or like whatever it is that you feel like that would inspire you, and go there for the purpose of getting inspired. I'm sure you will find it then also. You will come home, you will write down stuff or whatever form you use for that, and you will be inspired to translate that then into whatever art form you do. In our case, music. Like I'm so inspired. I want to make a full ambient album already.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I think going out is super, super important. I think we touched briefly on that last time, but I got a little bit involved in a local community, an art community here in Cologne, which is called the Kolbhalle Artist Community. It's like a big industrial,
yeah, you mentioned that.
Basically, and there's a lot of artists living there. It's a very unique, special place which hosts so much creative things. There are exhibitions, there is music, there's always something to discover. Like you go in there, there's people playing the piano, then there's some people doing gardening outside. It's like very, how do you say that? Very living. It feels like a living organism somehow, and it's full with inspiring things. And you just have to go there and let yourself just walk through the different halls and just take a look around, talk to the people there, or even don't talk to the people, just enjoy the art for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a very special place, and I'm getting more and more involved with them because I really like what this does to me. It's getting there, what you say, and for me, it's getting away from the computer and getting in touch with real people and with their art again, which is just incredible.
That's the thing. I think that I want to make this episode kind of the reminder that we are on the machines, and it's good. Like you are a productive person when you do your music, but when you feel like you kind of force yourself, is actually the best way. Involve yourself into a community that brings you out, that shows you different art forms, like, like going to an exhibition that normally have nothing to do with music because it's paintings or pictures or something, can be the same inspiring because you can translate a different art form into your kind of way to seeing it. And I think that's what art is. It's we stealing from others all the time.
Yeah.
Just translating it into a new form, or like, I would do it a bit like this. It's a bit different, or like, even if you just listen to music and you want to do the same, but a bit different, because I would like that this is more bassy in this moment or something.
Yeah.
It's already your own thing then, right?
Absolutely. It's like putting you show your own perspective on the world. I think that's kind of like what art ultimately is, because there's all these different art forms already out there, and all of us get inspired. Like for me, for melodic techno, I have people who I admire and I think I want to sound like them, but I know that I will never sound like them, which is great because this is the way how I find my own sound. And in the way that you go out there and get involved with people, with art, you find your inner voice a little bit better. And I think that's what it's ultimately about, because this is how you find your true own sound.
And your compass. You remember our
and
last
your
episode?
compass.
The artist compass that you find.
The artist
and
compass.
then it's an interesting topic, right? With this finding your own sound is every artist, totally in the music world, right? Every artist have a moment where they're trying all kind of genre till they stick to one thing. But it's happening all the time, naturally. And that is like the natural process of from all the stuff that I tried, that's one fits the most to me. For example, my friend Miva, he was always into ambient, and I was always like, yeah, put a kick on and it's actually good. You know? And now I'm like, wow, I love this even more, you know?
Yeah.
Like I come really into this now.
Yeah, completely.
I also
and
played...
also,
Go on. What do you wanted to say?
No, I just wanted to say also, when you kind of like find your own style, I think you can be more fluid throughout different genres, because what I found for myself, I was so sticking to this melodic house, melodic techno thing. And I start the moment where I kind of like find more my sound, where I think, okay, this is how I sound, can push the borders of the genres and open up to more other genres, like my interest for hypnotic techno, my interest for ambient music. I can combine all of that with the melodic style I have in my music and then make it something even more unique that people say that is still me, that is still my style, although it's probably a little bit fast for melodic house, or it's doesn't even have a beat at all because it's just ambient, but people would still say, okay, that's still kind of like the unique sound. And I think that's when you know, okay, I'm getting closer. I think getting really there to the core is very hard and takes a lot of time, but it's a process, and that's the beautiful thing as an artist. You can embrace that process by releasing music, and while you release, you get closer and closer to the core.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is also when you know you found your style and okay, this is my techno I do, for example. The fun part happen when you want, okay, I know what like techno is. You have a kick, you have drums, you have some synth sounds, you have a fat bass line, la la la. So you have these elements kind of. And then when you put all the elements away, there's just one thing sticking out, and that's like what makes your sound unique. And that thing you can take to all genres and figure out, oh, okay, so how I sound when I make ambient, how I sound when I make this and this. For example, I love my sound design on textures and hypnotic sounds, right? Okay, I still do that in my ambient, you know? I see totally how like this translated 100% there. It's so funny. And I think you actually should try that, you know? Like if you really feel like confident in what you're doing now with one sound, you should try the other genres and see how your sound actually will add on top, you know, of different genres.
Exactly.
For example,
Sorry, go ahead.
When I do bass music or dubstep or something, I know that I always have a heavy subline like in my techno, but I will have textures on top of the subline. So it's like this like same movement with the subline, but other dubstep maybe would not do because they have this like reese on top, like I don't like that, for example, you know? So it's already a little bit different sounding, and that makes it unique and unique art for people outside to hear and explore. And that's the goal in the end, right?
Absolutely. And what I just want to say is basically that you can then find your own genre between genres, so to say. So you have then the freedom to create your own genre mix and maybe create something unique that relies on things that have been there before, but still you make it something new. And I think that's what all artists in the end want to make.
Yeah, I had a huge conversation with Gigi about this, Gigi FM. After the event, we went for dinner and we talked a little bit about like she doing this for 8 years now, touring DJ and everything, la la la. And I think there is a moment where like you maybe get into an agency because of this unique thing you do with the techno, or for example, but then like you can ride the peak till you drop down because we hear it now, you know, like everyone hears it. But to have this momentum for a long time, with little dips, but coming back up, you have to kind of renew all the time who you are, kind of. There's this stress with an agency. I talked with her about this, like how you constantly come up with new things. Like now you did this ambient shows, and like, was it a thing you always did? I asked, you know, and she was like, no, actually in the beginning I didn't do that at all. And she also said, like, this is the thing that the agency looks also in the end for like something that is like adaptable to a lot of things. And that means you're adaptable to genres and different art forms almost. Of course, this agency is based on music, so she's always booked for some kind of music, but she plays live, she plays jungle events, dubstep events, techno events, she makes clothing in Berghain, you know, and it's proper techno, that no expectations that there will be something different. But then she blasts me away with this like ambient set that was perfectly crafted together, you know? And then you see like the variation of an artist. And then you see also the artist, not just for the sound, sondern for the selection. Like the taste of the artist makes in the end the artist, right?
Absolutely.
Like your taste make you unique, because everyone can learn fucking Ableton or whatever, you know? But your taste is the most valuable. And I think we never talk too much about this in the scene.
True. I mean, we kind of covered it in the last episode when we talked about algorithms. And I think
about it.
We talk about it. Yeah, that's true. The industry not.
Because you have to watch this channel because it's perfect for artists, you know?
And by the way, like and subscribe if you not haven't already. Now, what I wanted to say, the last episode, actually, I think we already touched on that, because in the end, an algorithm is pushing you away from kind of like finding your own taste, because an algorithm always serves you with things you would like, but you don't do the digging yourself. You don't kind of like discover and bring up things. And I think that's the big risk that we have right now in our media consumption world. I just call it like that, is that people just get thrown bullshit at them and they just consume passively. And I think media consumption should be a more active thing. You decide based on your taste what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want to experience, and then embrace yourself in it.
From it.
Exactly. And then when you find these things, you automatically dig deeper. And this is where kind of like your own taste building starts. And that's something where I think we perfectly bridged the gap to the last episode, because what you said is so true. Like, people should trust more in their own taste, and then embrace that and dig deeper and see what actually is it that fascinates me. What is it that moves me also emotionally? And this is then kind of like how you get closer to the core.
You know, the cool thing now, like since the last episode, I was like 3 days in with the no Spotify and just having my library to listen to it, right? Obviously, now I listen constantly the same tracks, what I decided to do because I like them, and they calm me down, and I realized that I don't need so much different tracks anymore. I just need the same ones. They're good and they make me happy. Also in the plane was super nice, no internet, and I was like, I don't care. I have my music. But now, after this ZERØBPM thing, there is no noise for me with so many other music. I was just obsessed with this. So I researched them. I never do these things like researching an artist properly. I have friends that do that a lot, but I'm like, because of the ADHD, maybe I just don't want too much information. I just like consume it, like it, and take that. And now I'm like, but that was so good. So I researched them. Then I researched all the mixes that I did and listened to them all yesterday when I edited a little video. And then I was like, this artist is really good. So I checked that artist. So I bought some tracks. So I have them in the library so I can listen to that, because I want to involve this ZERØBPM sound now around me, because they inspired me, right? So I want this around me now. And there I did it. Like I researched the artist. I bought some tracks. Of course, only the one that I really liked. And now I have like 4 tracks from this artist, 5 from this one from this artist. And I have a little bit more tracks in the library. So now when I open the app, I'm like excited because I have some new tracks inside, you know?
Awesome.
Spotify never did that to me, you know? I was never excited. Oh, my release radar.
Yeah.
Like, it's just another noise for me. But maybe I'm just too extreme with the shit, but.
No, I mean, I can just obviously only speak for myself, but I felt the exact same way, which is also why I moved away in a slightly different way than you did. But actually, when I moved from Spotify to Apple Music, when I first kind of like loaded the Apple Music app, I deliberately decided to push away everything that is algorithm based. I don't want any algorithmic playlists in my life. So I only have kind of like my library, which has my bought music in it, which I loaded into Apple Music, which is really nice that you can do it so easy there.
Yeah, I think we have to mention that Apple Music is literally iTunes from the past. So iTunes became just Apple Music with a streaming host on top.
Exactly.
But you still can drag and drop music that you bought that you cannot find in the streaming world. Drag and drop it and still listen to it.
Exactly. And it's showing up in the same library, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So there's no difference. So when I load it, for example, I bought an album on Bandcamp, downloaded it, and then loaded it to Apple Music in my library. It's still in there, but it sits beside an album that I deliberately downloaded from Apple Music. So say, oh, I found an album there and I want to load it. So that's really cool. And that's something I completely enjoy. And this is something how I found a lot of new artists or experienced a new artist recently, because I did the exact same thing that you mentioned. I started to research artists again. There was some impulse I got from somewhere where I found this artist, and then I thought, okay, this is really nice, or someone recommended it to me on my Discord server or somewhere. And then I started to dig deeper and deeper and deeper and just found out so much more about this artist. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. I want to listen to this album now. And then next week, when I listen to this album, I want to listen to the next one. And it's such a different way of listening to music, because yeah, you value the music so much more than before, because I had the exact same thing as you. I was like, I opened Spotify and I was like immediately stressed, because it was like release radar. Oh shit, there's so much more music, but I have to catch up with it, but I can't. I don't have enough time. And there's another record I want to listen to, but I don't have time because my release radar is filled. And there's another algorithmic playlist I need to listen to.
And you don't choose it, like you said in the last episode. Like you wanted to watch the new Blauern release, and it was not even there, right?
It wasn't there. Yeah, exactly. And now it's like, there's this record coming. Okay, then I load it, and then I just listen to that record for a couple of days.
Your decision to say, this interests me. Let me pick that. Let me dig that. Let me dig this event. Let me dig this label now. I found something new. The excitement to consume the audio again. I lost that
so much more
completely for 20 years or something.
Yeah, and it's coming back, which I'm super excited about, because I mean, music is my life. So it was...
Same.
It was crazy how this algorithmic, sorry to say, but bullshit took that excitement away, and now we basically have to reclaim it. Yeah, it's crazy.
I never realized how impacted actually that was, and why I never was digging, And now, like, literally, that's this live data now that we share here with you guys. Yeah. It's like we both realizing right now, hey, digging is actually amazing and so much fun. Now I realize the people that are on vinyls, why they do that. Because it's just the hardware. You have to buy it. Otherwise you have not the track. You just don't have it.
You can't listen. And then when you have one, because it's so expensive, you listen to one for 2 or 3 weeks until you have enough money to buy the next one. Yeah. So it's like, but it's...
To be honest, you hear the music then properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally with ambient, like the tracks are sometimes 11 minutes, 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
But you listen all the little details because you listen it 50 times, because you just don't have, like, my playlist, my silent playlist was always like super long. I had like hours. Mm-hmm. So I always started on the top or like shuffled it around. But now I just have like, 20 tracks inside because they're highly selected. And every track that starts, when you shuffle, it comes a track in. I'm like, always like, oh yeah, this one. Oh yeah, this one. Because there is no one like, maybe this one I should put out of the list. It's just always the best of the best.
Yeah.
And that is inspiring too. But we did this already on the last episode.
Yeah.
We wanted to go a little bit more like how the outside world now.
Outside of the music world. But yeah, it's a lot of
But it's nice to see, mate. It's nice to see that you, first of all, go also more into ambient, because I'm really feeling this right now too. But also like the digging part is back in my life. And you too. That's the
same for me. Same for me. So if you discover some good new music,
yeah, let's exchange the Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the school, Oh, I have this new deck.
Check this out.
Yeah, no, I have to show you some tracks actually, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found some cool ambient, and I think we have the same taste there. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, Mutate already was a great tip.
Yeah, Gigi played also one Mutate track in the church.
Nice.
And it's such a ambient with this like hyper elements, like modern sound design, and then still this like droney bass line. That was so good on that speaker. Yeah. And it was such a contrast because there was a lot of epic tracks, with like kind of
Okay.
drony epic sounds, what was totally fixing for the church.
Mm-hmm.
In the moment where I was realizing now I would like to have something more like, I don't know, alien to all of this, like kind of abstract again. She dropped the track for Mutate inside. It was like,
Ooh.
sound design was just so contrasty from everything before. So I was like, ooh, oh. I was literally having my eyes closed, meditating, and I was smiling. I was like,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, I was looking so
That's
funny,
when you know
I
it's
think.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah, man, that sounds awesome. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love that. Like finding the sense of why you make music again in the way that you just consume music again. Because I don't know, when I start to be an artist and making music, I literally stopped consuming music way more than before. Because now I'm doing it, right? And I also felt like if I listen to too much music, maybe I don't find my own sound. In the beginning, I remember I was thinking about these things, like maybe I should consume less music so I find my own way of sound. Because I did this also with social media from the beginning. I always try to have like stricter times for it till I deleted it. And when I deleted it, I realized I had much more own ideas because there is nothing to be inspired, right? How to make content kind of. But the same with music, right? And I forgot that completely. Like the music I buy right now is the shit that I really like. And it's obviously when you listen to the playlist then like, oh yeah, I'm really into this kind of ambient right now. I see the pattern because all the tracks are like this. And this is super inspiring.
Yeah.
So
Anything else for the topic?
Anything else? Did we write something down that was completely forgot in the excitement? Yeah, did you went before in your life to a museum and get inspired? I think that's a kind of abstract way, but
I did, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it's already some time ago, but I remember I did go to, that was an exhibition that was actually in London by Roy Lichtenstein, this pop-up artist, and that was actually really cool and very. I actually think about that still a lot because I'm not really into kind of like this sort of art form so much, but this one blew me away, and as we talked about this episode, I still have it on my list. I was talking to my wife and we were chatting, and she's also like, yeah, let's go to museums again because it's just so fun. And here in Cologne, it's like the city's flooded with museums, same as Berlin. It's like an art city. So it's like there's so many museums here and we never make use of that. So we both have now said, okay, now that it's getting darker again and autumn and winter is coming, we definitely will go to museums. And I'm already really looking forward to that because it's something I haven't really done in a while. But yeah, it's something now that I'm really excited about because I rediscovered this kind of like getting inspired by other art forms. I started to read a lot again. So now I used to have this thing before I went to bed. I used to watch YouTube videos. Now I exchanged the watch YouTube video parts for reading. And it's just so much more rewarding. It's like,
it's also healthier because of the blue screen
healthier.
And all the stuff, right? Like you will
I mean,
sleep better.
I still read on a Kindle, but it's
but it's a different screen technology. It's actually helpful. You can make it yellow and then it's like healthy as fuck.
Yeah, and it's just so much better. But yeah, museums definitely on my list. How about
because
you?
you write museum here, and I was like, okay.
Interesting.
You know what I did once a track also from the last albums. I think it was an ambient track. Actually, the last album, yeah. And you know how I like start writing the concept for it in my book? Conversations. And you know which one? The random ones that I trigger in. So I go out. Berlin is the perfect city for it. Depends always where you are, of course. But I go out and the goal is you walk till you find someone that looks interesting and is not too busy right now. It's maybe daydreaming or something. And you say hi and you talk to a stranger and you have to have a good question. That it's like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, let me answer that, So you have a question like that just make you, okay, wow, okay, let me answer this. I never think about this, this kind of questions. I don't know, I have no example right now. What I did, I don't remember. I mean, it was not the weather or something, it was more like Did you ever in your life? Like, I think I asked if you're an artist because the person looked really artsy. So I was like, I mean, in Berlin there's a 90% chance that you find an artist. And it was an artist, and then I sit down, and it was in a coffee outside, and I sit down, and I think I remember I asked something like, I think like in this episode here right now, like, what is your favorite way of getting like inspiration for your art? You know,
That's
like out of
question.
nowhere, you say hi and then you do that. And then you have a conversation with a stranger, what is like a way bigger impact for you because you completely neutral to the person. Right. And you can be excited about a human being, you know, like you human being soul. Tell me what excites you in life right now. Where's your thoughts? And then you hear sometimes like completely other side of life, you know, because they're having completely other things in the head. And it can be so like new for your world that you can get inspired by that. So that, for example, was like one thing where I was like, that's cool. So you write like little sentence that the person say, like, I really don't like this because no. And this one sentence is so inspiring that you're like, okay, let me write that down. Sorry, I will write that down. You know, I'm looking for inspiration right now too. And that's why I'm talking to you. Oh, cool. And then you have this conversation. So for me, like conversations with strangers, in particular, like on purpose. So you come, you take your pen, your paper, and I don't know, just a good smile and make yourself fresh. So you look like you want something from the person. You really just sit down and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Do you have a second? I would like to ask you something. You know, you have to be friendly, of course, and not look like you want to sell something.
Yeah.
But then you can have amazing conversations. And when your goal is not to meet the person or like have a date or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Just for your research for art, naturally most of the time flows. And sometimes you even find friends.
Yeah.
But that was also one from the abstract ways to get inspiration because I
That's
saw
really
your
cool.
museum and I was like, wait, conversations can be the same. Obviously.
It can be,
but
absolutely. Yeah.
Look, my dog goes crazy.
What's she doing?
She's like rubbing her back. She's happy.
Mine is still asleep.
Yeah.
Very, very sleepy.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think for that you need to be really brave because
it's a training.
2 thoughts on that. Exactly. The first thing was my thought is
myself,
I think you need to really force yourself to do that because it's a high burden. And then I also feel in our society that a lot of people, when you talk to them, they are immediately like, nah, sorry, I don't have time. I need to go there because they, exactly what you said, they think you want to sell them something. You just want to sign whatever it is. Kind of like always people have kind of like when you speak to or when you start to speak to people in the city or wherever, I always have the feeling people always think you want something negative from them, which actually is pretty sad because I mean, we are all humans. We share the space. And then when we just want to have a conversation, everyone's like, no, I'm sorry. I don't have time. I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. And
that's where the isolation starts.
In the end, actually, it worked out most of the time.
Okay.
Like after I tried this like in my life, I think I started it in the beginning in Berlin because I was very lonely and I needed to, I don't know, have conversations. So I forced myself. It was literally a training for myself to be more social. So talk to a stranger is a proper mission, you know, to lock on.
It is.
But, that was really the moment where I realized you can do this. And to be honest, you get this ice in the beginning for like even maybe 5-10 minutes. They're still waiting for the hook line. By the way, we are from WWF or something, you know.
We want you to sign something.
Yeah, can you sign this, please? But when they realize that you literally just interested in what this person is saying right now, out of nowhere, those conversations become lovely. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, I think it's scary in the beginning, but most of the time you have amazing moments. There is this podcast that I really love, Make Art, No Content.
Make Art, Not Content.
Mentioned that to you before, right?
Yeah. It's great. I listen to it also.
Is sometimes just randomly talking to a person and then do that, you know, what I just said, and record that. I always ask myself, how you do that? Like recording is something where people instantly switch to being weird. Like, I don't know, is he secretly putting his phone just down? I don't know.
Or is it staged? I was always like asking myself the same thing. Like, is it, how does he record that so perfectly? And is it really
It's
just
so
in the
natural.
moment, or is he saying, well, we record that now? It's crazy, but it's a great podcast. It's full of inspiration.
Yeah.
Big recommendation also from me.
Yeah. It's very good. Make art, no content. Shout out.
Yeah, shout
really
out.
Nice.
Father Broncos, I think, is the host called.
Father Broncos,
so, yeah, shout out.
Good person.
Yeah.
Just one mission, you know? Making artists having the biggest obstacle that they have themselves and fixing that. I love the mission. That this guy sent it to himself. Like,
so to the point, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And he's actually also the one who got me so much into Jean-Michel Basquiat, because I know him before, but then he made one episode where he talked about artistic flow. And then he took Jean-Michel Basquiat as an example, because I think his artistic career was super short. I mean, he died at 28 or so.
Yeah.
But in this time, I think he created like 3,000 pictures or so. It's insane.
Yes.
But the crazy thing is, like, when he talked about his way of creating and how he got into the flow and how he got so fast at making art and high quality art, that was super inspiring for me. And that was again where I found interest in this artist. And now I think I read my second book about him. And it's like, you know, it's like where I got my inspiration from a lot recently. It's just reading about him and his life. And it's that process.
In our episodes, we are always so against social media and and I love that. But to be honest, also like a really nice source for inspiration is a podcast, or like consuming some other things, right? Just to translate this feeling that you get from this podcast episode that inspires you to be more straightforward and just do what you think and not what people think. Like this podcast is, for example, always doing that to me. Like I just listen to Make Art No Content when I feel like I have self-doubts. And then I'm like, again, after I'm like, I just do what I want.
Yeah.
Fuck society.
Fuck the shit.
I'm an artist.
Exactly.
It's really nice for that.
Yeah. But then again, like,
where you can translate that then, you know, perfectly in like everything. That's why I say the full package, like your taste, you know, is inspired. Like my music, but my way also to be in the internet or in the outside world, my way of like giving my message out, like everything is inspired by things like this.
100%. But in that, again, the way how you mentioned it, it's not because you mentioned we're always against social media. I'm actually not so much against social media. I'm just against the way how it shaped what it became today. So I'm against
media,
this,
not social media anymore.
Exactly. And that's my biggest problem with that, because the way how you consume it actually said you deliberately go to the podcast and listen to that. But what I see mainly on social media these days is that people get fed stuff in their algorithm that jumps from, I don't know, healthcare videos to political propaganda stuff to
a TikTok dance,
to, I don't know, to everything, to memes. And you get that served in an amount from 30 seconds. You swipe through 10 different videos, all these different impacts. I mean, I think that's not really healthy for your brain. That's my main issue I have with social media. But when you say, okay, I'll go on there and I listen or watch something on purpose, like Make Art Not Content, other podcasts, other YouTube videos, it's like, I think that's exactly what social media is for. And then exactly, you have a purpose. You write in the comment section to get engaged with the community behind it, or even the creator, her or himself. And then you just, you sparkle it, and then it's just like something that inspires you. But I feel the way, but again, that's for another topic, the way how social media has become, that doesn't really spark any creativity at all anymore.
Yeah, like going with purpose to like a particular video to get inspired because you know you watched it already. I love this moments, like you not need new stuff, you know, like what we always think, we need more tracks, unlimited access to everything, all episodes of all series that we can have, and not like taking your favorite movie and watch it again, you know, like I'm kind of a digger for this now.
Yeah.
Because you already select, and the selection is the holy thing that I start loving on myself. Like my self-love is now for my taste.
That's great.
And I think this mission I'd set this year, because I kind of abstractly figured that out as an artist, that like my taste is the thing that I have to like it's the flower that I want to grow, so I put a lot of love into that now. That's why I make the move with the anti-Spotify, anti-social media, to really have the silent moments where I develop then with what I'm consuming, what I can control now, new things. And for example, the content from Make Art No Content, there's videos that are old that I listen, or like podcasts that I already listened many times. And I'm literally looking for this one episode and listen it again, because it's very fast. He talks very fast, right? And you always get a new point, a new perspective. And I love this kind of like, I remember I need this now for this kind of feeling now that I had after this episode. So you consciously decide to consume this content now
100%.
And not passively just, for, I don't know, get time off.
Yeah.
Because it's not time off for your brain, but you think it's time off. Yeah,
that's a misconception.
That's also like a way to see that. Yeah, that's true. And then to conclude that all, you sit down. Like yesterday night, I sit down. I was inspired by this like church thing and this like, like this soft music is healing. But what healing means for me, I don't want to make it too esoteric, like I'm not a big fan of this like making it super esoteric, but I kind of want still calling it healing. So I write down also in my book, like I write it down meditation, and then I watched this word meditation, what it actually means for me. So again, like going into your compass and be like, but what I think about these things, not what society thinks about esoteric things,
Yeah.
And then
make it your own concept.
Yes, make it to your own concept. And then I reflected on like the weekend and what I saw and why I cannot forget this church, why I cannot, it's just an event in a church. Yeah, cool. You got that before. Maybe this one was really beautiful, but in the end, it's nothing new for me, to be honest. But I was so impacted by it. And I still don't get really the point why it was so important for me. But in this moment, I really realized this is it. And yesterday I sit down here, I make my machines, I make my candle, my smell, and I literally kind of find myself again in this like, it's a ceremony making ambient. Like in this church, it was a ceremony. No one talks, and no one talked because they said, please don't talk, just whisper. No, they make these rules in the beginning on the door. And I was like, oh my God, terrible. Why we are here now? I was like, a bit not ready for this vibe because I didn't expect it. And then you're 10 minutes in and you love it, And then this ceremony, also washing your hands in this like waiting room and all that stuff with like hot water that they put like it was so like ritual that I realized, it's so good to make this little candle for me, make it to a ritual, and then having a proper purpose to like, okay, let's make one patch that sound really nice. So you have one patch more and then make 5 patches in my machine, for example. So I have 5 tracks that I can make now for a beginning of a live act, because I'm literally building live acts parallel right now to play with my next shows, new stuff, and not constantly my old albums. I can't hear them anymore. So yeah, you know how it is.
I know how it is.
So I'm looking for new textures, looking for new Foley recordings, but I also find new techniques with the Cosmos right now to play it properly. And they have a granular engine inside that sounds completely different to the granular engine in the Torso. So I was just researching, but then also like with this ritual, finding the silence. So I put some noise inside and I was like, it's cool sound design. But then I realized, cool sound design, but not what I'm looking for. I was very conscious about this. I want to chill right now. So I put the noise again down, and then I found a new sweet spot. And these are the moments that I don't have when I'm not inspired, That's why I go out. That's why I do these things. That's why I say randomly yes to things that I sometimes, should I go there? I don't want to be, I want to be on my computer all day long and making music. Say yes when nature or like randomness of the world tells you, hey, you want to come? We have this cool whatever. You can just pop in.
Yeah.
And you consume something. You're like, just say and see it with that eye and that new vision.
Yeah. Get inspired by the outside world away from your computer.
Get inspired by the outside world, and you will sit down making it to a ritual and get a different output that when you just make it a normal routine.
Amen. To come back to the church.
We do the amen quite a lot in this episode.
Oh yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah. Do you have something to add on that?
No. I think that was already a lot, but I really enjoyed this conversation because I have the feeling we are heading into the same healthy direction. Yeah, which I really appreciate, and I hope you folks out there can follow us on the path, because I think it's something truly special. And if it's inspiring for you, always please let us know, because we love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. The last comments was really nice to read also, that people really love sitting with us here, having these conversations, and you guys are just here with us, we have this conversation, and I really love then like seeing also like it would be a live chat, would be actually a nice idea maybe in the future.
Yeah.
But also having just like the comments after is kind of the echo of that for me, as I read them and you read them.
Same.
And we get inspired by the comments too, for the episodes, also for
big
the topics.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I think in the beginning we also planned way more like signal chain stories was like chosen by, we will make some sound design talks and la. But in the end we realized with the community also, right, it's way more this like being an artist, the mindsets for that is
the lifestyle, the choices you make in life. I think it's all that combined.
Yeah, and it's also the stuff we don't talk on our own channels so much because it's more technical, right?
Yeah.
So I love that the signal chain stories became like kind of that, that we actually go more into this like being an artist stories.
I love that.
And that came by so much, the interest from you guys. So thank you for that.
Big thanks.
Yes. And in this case, I would say like and subscribe. Yeah. We see us then in 2 weeks. And it was a pleasure, my friend. Like always.
Same for me. It was really great. Thank you. And have wonderful 2 weeks. See ya.
Bye-bye. Stop.